BCIG 2A state champions, and some post-game interviews starting with Falcon senior Sam Devitt. Sam, first of all, how about it? You're state champions. How do you sum that up?
I mean, it's amazing. We worked so hard all season just to come for this. This was our goal the whole year, and we got it done.
What's enabled your defense to step up so well as you have as of late, and holding Waukon to 1 of 12 on third down today is certainly key. What was the defensive mindset coming into this game?
One of the biggest keys was forcing them, getting them winning first down is what we said. We wanted to get a short gain on first down, so it puts pressure on them to pass second and third down. We believe we have a really good passing defense, so if we got them in that position, someone just had to step up and make a play.
What was the discussion like at halftime as you took a 17-6 lead into the break?
We just made a couple adjustments. We just kept looking forward and making sure we finished out the game.
Sam, congratulations. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
And now for Jake Nieman, hold that trophy up proud as you get to raise it, capping off an undefeated season. What are your emotions like at this time?
They're through the roof. I'm ecstatic at all the people that have made this happen. I'm just so happy that this is what it ended on.
Well, tell me about, you scored one touchdown, hauling in a 7-yarder from Cooper. What do you remember about that play?
I just remember that they broke down their coverage, and I was just open in the back of the end zone. I was really hoping he would find me, and he did. And once again, I can't drop that pass.
And you guys stepped up big defensively, holding them to 12 points. They got some yards on you, but made some plays when you had to. What was it like preparing for the several different formations that you knew Waukon was going to throw out there?
It was hard. It took a lot of focus on our part to make sure we were prepared for almost everything they threw at us. So us being able to cover most of that up, it feels pretty good to hold them to 12 points.
Now, what about the play of the game as far as we're concerned after Waukon had just scored late in the third quarter to make it a 2-possession game? You run the ensuing kickoff return on a reverse for a touchdown from Cooper to yourself, covering 80 yards. What about that play?
It was awesome. I saw that green grass, and I just thought to myself I cannot get caught. So I was just fast, using my wheels, and got to the end zone.
Jake, congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And now Cooper DeJean to recap the BCIG state championship. First of all, how do you sum it up, capping off a title with an undefeated season?
It was great to win a state title for this community finally. It's the first one ever, so that's good to bring it back for them and for our seniors. It means a lot.
You accounted for 4 more touchdowns, 458 yards of offense. How would you rate the offensive performance as a whole?
I thought it was great. The offensive line gave me some blocks, gave me time in the pocket. And then when I had to scramble, I scrambled, and the receivers were getting open, just making plays for me, making it a lot easier on me.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned the offensive linemen. Of course, they make it possible for you to do what you do, and I'm sure a big shout out to those guys.
Yep, they're great. They've been great all year. Blocking for me, giving me time in the pocket, definitely makes it a lot easier.
And now, what about the kickoff reverse play, which you gave to Jake Nieman to really put the nail in, so to speak, late in the third quarter after they just scored a touchdown?
Yeah, that was great. That was our first one all year. We've been talking. We've been wanting to bring one back. It was a big momentum swing late in that game, and just glad we got it done.
And what did you see early in the game as you intercepted a pass on the first series to set up Cade Wareham in the first points of the day?
I just knew I saw a guy coming across the middle. I kind of undercut it and just picked it off, got what I could get, and then drove down and got some points on the board.
When did you know that this team was special, that you could accomplish what you just did?
At the beginning of the season, I knew it would be tough to stop us when we were putting up all those points on the board, throwing the ball all over the place. So I think defenses definitely have a tough time trying to stop us, and when we put up that many points.
I'm sure it hurt not having Easton Harms available for this game, as you two have been on fire in the passing game, especially the last few outings. But others stepped up. Trust Wells had 5 catches, and Colton Knopp had a pair of touchdowns. So how did Easton not being in the fold affect, if at all, the game planning?
It's like not having him out there, but we know he would be supporting us on the sideline. And then other guys stepped up we want to win this for him and win this for this community. It means a lot to him, I'm sure.
Thank you, Cooper. DeJean, congratulations. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And last but certainly not least, it's Coach Larry Allen. And Coach, just moments ago, you said, who would have thunk it? Did you ever envision this as a possibility that you would take it all the way and have the kind of season you have?
I think everybody dreams of that. You know, when you start the season, William Grody made a comment to Coach Cheesick at the soap game that we only have 13 weeks left in the season, and for us to be able to come back and do that is just tremendous.
And a tremendous performance against Waukon, a game in which you never trailed in. Took a 17-6 lead at the half. Sum it up if you would.
You know, we played with a lot of confidence, and I think that was the big thing. Anything that they tried to throw at us from an offensive standpoint, Coach Cheesick really had those kids prepared and kind of had us in the right position, so we felt we had an advantage in those situations. But just the kids fought for 4 full quarters, and the crowd support was phenomenal.
Even without your leading receiver as far as catches go, Easton Harms, others stepped up. You said confidence, even against another undefeated team coming in and Waukon. Could you see that confidence throughout the week? Was there any reason not to believe that you couldn't continue this lethal passing game that you've had all season, and the defense played well again?
Not really. You know, the kids, it's a different group of kids. They're very laid back. They don't get too excited. I think last week we used up a lot of adrenaline early, and that's why we ran out of gas in that 4th quarter. This week we're a little more low-keyed on the trip up and just knew that they had to reserve some of that energy.
Well, Cooper stepped up and ran like he can, 167 yards and 2 touchdowns and 2 more through the air. Jake Nieman and Colton Knopp, one of those trying to help fill the void left by Easton with a touchdown, and Trust Wells also had 5 catches too.
Yeah, Trust did a great job. You know, hasn't played a lot of offense this year, been a stalwart on defense for us, but for him to step in there tonight, and he really played well for us.
Big stat defensively, Coach, as well offensively you guys were 9 of 13 on 3rd down, critical there, but you held them to 1 of 12 on 3rd down.
That's big. We talked all week. We have to win 1st down to get them into that 2nd and long and 3rd and long. And if you can do that, that's tremendous.
Anything else stand out individually or team-wise? I mean, I know you're still just soaking it all in, and still seems kind of surreal, I'm sure.
It sure is. You know, just the fan support was just tremendous, and you know, it makes it loud in there when everybody's sitting right behind you. But thank you to all their support this year.
Coach Larry Allen, thank you. Enjoy, appreciate everything all year.
Thank you.